Okay, are we guys ready? Still getting people out the back? Okay, we can kick it now. So, in good fashion, starting with shitty titles, we decided to change the title again because I had innovation and monetization. Oh yeah, disruption in hospitality, but we're gonna screw that. We're gonna change it. So I'm gonna call on stage and we're gonna talk about scalability on one side, or profitability. What do you prefer? Money or your face on Newsweek? Huh? What do you guys prefer? Newsweek? Who prefers money? No one? Seriously? Someone there. There you go. Those are smart. Okay, so you want to be Twitter or you want to be Palantir, for example, that make shit ton of money. Okay, so to talk about this, I want to welcome our next moderator, Katja Bonnet, hotel provider head for Amadeus. Katja, thank you very much for joining us. Big applause, guys. And I want to introduce you, Mr. Scale and Mr. Profit. Okay, so Mr. Profit, are you ready? So please welcome Emilio Galan, CTO and co-founder of Beyond Price. That's, sorry, Mr. Scale, I got it wrong. And Alex Gisbert, CEO of FastPay Hotels, Mr. Profit. Thank you, guys.
Hello, good afternoon. I'm glad to see that there's still so many people around. It's getting late, but this is definitely an interesting topic to stick around. As mentioned, my name is Katja Bonnet, and I'm heading the hotel provider area at Amadeus. In case you don't know what Amadeus does, we are a B2B company that works in the travel industry. So what we do is we connect travel companies into full ecosystem, either through IT or through distribution solutions. We have been investing heavily lately in hospitality. That's why I'm so excited to have two hospitality companies with me to be on that fireside chat. I have here Emilio Galan, CTO and co-founder of Beyond Price, and Alex Gisbert from FastPay Hotels. And before I go and ask them the interesting questions, I'd like to also address a little bit why we at Amadeus feel that it's how important it is actually to become profitable, no? It's great to have great ideas, innovative ideas, but at some point you need to decide if you want to play in the corporate world, you need to become profitable. Or you just want to scale and be sold off as quickly as possible. So just to understand a little bit the room, who of you, by raising your hand, is coming from a startup? Okay. And who is an investor? Okay, no investor here, and the rest is just walk in and interested in the topic, I guess. So, great.
Interesting.
Okay, so let's start with you, Emilio. Could you please quickly explain what Beyond Price does and what issue you're actually addressing within the hospitality industry?
Okay, thank you. Well, we realized that the main problem for hotels was maximizing their revenues, understanding better the demand of the behavior of the consumers. So we decided to launch Beyond Price in order to help them to take better decisions and offering them a strategy platform in order to take the best decision on 4 stages. The first one on pricing decision, helping them to decide what is the best price that they have to offer to the demand in order to get more revenues. After that, also in the distribution, optimizing what channels they have to offer those rooms. And also in the loyalty area, helping them to focus on their own sales channel, the website mainly, and offering the best product on their own sales channel. And after that, also helping them on what is the position in the market they must have. What investments have to do in the market, in their hotels, in order to be focused on what kind of segment is more profitable for them.
Okay, thanks, Emilio. Alex, same question to you.
Hi.
What business is you addressing with your company?
So first of all, thanks to Amadeus and Katja for having me here today. FastPay Hotels is a B2B distributor. We contract hotels around the world in 77 countries, and we sell them to travel agents in 23 countries currently around the world. We apply a huge amount of technology to this, and we currently are the only player in the market today who is able to take money the very day you walk into a travel agency and make that money appear inside hotels within about 90 seconds. Traditionally, hotels get paid 90 days after you leave the hotel. Our technology allows that to happen many, many days before, and that's given us huge momentum. We're a Spanish business based in Mallorca, about 2.5 years old.
Yeah. So both of your companies, what you do in the end, you help hoteliers to become more profitable and make more money and save money. No? Alex, what part data plays in your business? Is that important?
So absolutely. I think we use an awful lot of data, demand data. Nowadays, being able to quantify where demand is coming from different countries at different times of year. We help hotels a huge amount on optimizing the B2B distribution channel, and we share an awful lot of our data with hotels. Traditionally, I think one of the opportunities for a startup with new technology is to be able to capture your data and make that a value add as you drive into the market. In my market, there are about 250 competitors that we compete with, but we systematically are impressing some of our future, particularly suppliers rather than customers, when we go to them and say, here is data about your hotels that you never knew about. That's very, very powerful. The other thing that we do is we project the amount of cash we're able to generate for our suppliers. So we have hotels come to us and say, we need $50,000 in cash in November, and we're able to say to them, we think this price point is going to work for you and it can generate money for you. But I think any startup, doesn't matter what segment you're in today, if you're able to organize your data and make that part of your value add rather than just an internal tool, I think it's a really powerful tool to get your business out there and mark some level of differentiation.
Yeah.
Emilio, same question for you, because you mentioned that it's even part of your slogan, no?
Yeah.
Use of data.
Yeah, really, Beyond Price is a data-driven company. We started discovering that there was a lack of data in the market. Hotels need data to take the best decision. And we launched Beyond Price, first of all, at the beginning, getting data from different sources and offering them in the best way. Right now, we are managing a new 30 terabytes of data every day in our platform. So 3 years ago, we discovered that we have to add value on that data, because that data only will become as a commodity. So we have to add value on that data, developing algorithms on there. And now we are suggesting the hotel what are the best decisions they have to take.
Great. By the way, if you have any questions, just raise your hands, okay? So if not, we just keep on talking. So for a startup, it's super important to get money in the end, no? So, and I can imagine that getting your first paying customer is super emotional. Can you tell us a little bit how that was?
Yeah, I think obviously it's a really big moment, right? When you start signing contracts. Now, looking back 2.5 years ago, all the contracts we signed, we wish we'd changed them all, because you learn along the way, right? But I think it's a really big thing. It also breaks through a glass ceiling. You know, we were very fortunate. Our first supplier to sign with us was Meliá Hotels in Spain. Our first distribution partner was a German travel agent. And there's nothing that turns on more other hoteliers in Spain than knowing that you have a Meliá deal. There's nothing that turns on more other travel agents in Germany than telling everybody else. And you know, then you're going in and say, we already work with Meliá. What's wrong with you, right? Even if you have one, okay? So that's clearly very, very effective.
So good advice: be very vocal.
Well,
no?
I guess we were willing to. I think if you're starting in any industry, you're willing to bend the rules of your model to get the first supplier and I'm an intermediary, right? So the first supplier or the first customer, because it's the launch pad to greater. You can fix the commercials in years to come, but it will give you more than just your first set of transactions.
So how was it for you on Beyond Price?
Yeah, in the case of Beyond Price, well, we think that the most important is to develop a business model and demonstrate that it's scalable. So you have to think that, well, what you are offering to the customer has value, and you have to demonstrate if you develop well the business model, you can have a sales machine in order to demonstrate that if you invest money on the sales machine, you will get return on the market. So at this moment, for example, for me, it's not as important be profitable. It's more important to demonstrate that we can scale it and then demonstrate that it's profitable.
Okay. Talking a little bit about the startup environment here in Spain. So you're both based in Spain. Alex's company is based out of Palma, and you're based out of Salamanca. So can you share a little bit with the room what are the advantages or disadvantages to be actually a startup company in Spain?
For me, three things that I think call to mind. I spent, at the beginning of the business, we spent quite a lot of time in the US, and the contrast is really strong. So in the US, everyone's like patting you on the back and shaking your hand and saying, go for it, well done, go and live your dreams. And in Europe, generally, everyone looks at you and goes, why do you think you're so clever? Right? What are you going to do that we haven't invented already? Right? There's a huge amount of cynicism that you have to overcome. Okay, that's one side. Two, I think the financial and the funding environment inside is tough. You know, I have a lot of experience, and my team have a lot of experience in this sector. You know, we've worked for many years in this sector. Otherwise, I don't think we would have got the funding. You have to, if you're just one guy with a really bright idea, but you've never done anything before, it's really hard, I think, in Spain, whereby just raw talent, perhaps in the US, for example, counts for something. And I think that's a real disadvantage. But on the other hand, and then from a banking perspective, just virtual credit cards, setting up entities, whatever it is that you do if you rely on a bank, the banks in Spain I found difficult. If you don't have bricks and mortar and you don't have a building, they don't really understand what you do, and they don't know where to put you in the categorization. I found it hard. I found it frustrating. And we all know how difficult it is to get customers or suppliers, depending what you do. And that's ours. You know, that, if you think about it, that's an asset to all of us, right? You know, Beyond Price has lots of customers. When you go to any kind of bank or funding operation and then say, but I have all these contracts, they go, yeah, it doesn't mean anything to me. I don't know how difficult that is. And therefore, they can't really empathize. I think it's really tough. I don't want anyone to walk away thinking it's easy. I think it's really hard.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
I think it's that. Well, I will add that in Spain right now we have a wonderful talent in order to build business models. Yeah. Also, I think that the quality of life of Spain is also a wonderful thing that we have to take into account. Yeah. Also, and also the help of the government, or national or local governments, is also that they not exist in other countries.
Yeah. And I think the other side is, and it's a less public side, but the quality of the team that you can employ in your business in Spain. I think there's some really, really talented people out there, but perhaps the labor environment in Spain, there's an awful lot of people who want safe and who want contrato fijo, as it's known here, or they want total seguridad. And so what happens is some of the more talented people say, nah, but I can go and work for Amadeus, right? Or something like that, right? Which is, or Google or something like that. And I think
less risky, yeah.
I think a lot of people want to be able to go home and sit around the table with their family and say, I work for a really cool company, and they don't want their father or their mother or their brother or their wife to say, yeah, but this thing could go bust any minute. What are you doing, right? For me, it's I think that's the other tough thing, where perhaps outside in Asia or in America, it's kind of like, I'm in a startup, and everyone goes, wow, lucky you. How did you find a good startup, right? I think that's the other thing in Spain, is finding the right talent. I think I have the best team in the world, obviously, but but I found that hard. I think that's another thing that people don't think about when in the Spanish environment. Yeah.
And also there are some other disadvantages, like when the Spanish brand is not as strong as we want when you go outside. And also when you try to raise an A round or B round, there are not local investors that can follow you. So I think the ecosystem is growing, but we have a lack on that stage.
True.
Yeah, just what you said about fundraising. So both of your companies are profitable, but you're still going into the next round of fundraising. So where do you see the money is coming from? Emilio, you want to start?
Yeah. Okay. Well, in our background, we have put our own money, and also we have get loans from the government and from national VCs. But if at the stage we are right now, that we want to scale our company and multiply our clients going to a new market, we have to get money from international VC. And they have enough money in order to follow the round we have right now. So when you are trying to raise more than 5 million euros, it's something that is not easy here in Spain, so you have to go out in order to raise that amount of money.
Alex?
I don't know, perhaps I'm a bit more pragmatic. I think all good money is good, all money is good money, right? I don't care if it comes, I mean, there's certain axis of evil, I don't want the money to come from North Korea or something, right? But I generally, if it's Spanish money, American money, or German money, I'm good with it, right? It's certainly, however, it's more about the quality of the partner and the investor and the value add that investor brings. We're going through a funding round. We're looking at, we're talking to VCs in and out of Spain. I think we're comfortable with that. I guess the only thing that we have seen is the closer we are to Spain, the more the word profitable matters, then the further away we are. And I think that relates a little bit to what we talked about funding. So I think there's a lot of people in Spain you can send an investor deck to for a Series A or a Series B, but if you're not showing profits, you're not doing the things they want you to be doing. However, perhaps further away, what they're trying to see is how, rather than your EBITDA line, they're looking at your revenue line and seeing at what pace you are growing that revenue line, because they know profit will come. I think that's the only thing that we see. I think, like you said, we're both profitable, so we cleared that box, right? But the reality is it's a really hard process, I think, in and out of Spain. I don't think it's easy. If you're profitable, I think it's going to be easier. I guess that's the point, right? So.
Yeah, unfortunately, we've run out of time. Just one last question in 5 seconds to each of you. So what would you do differently if you had to start all over again?
Go as quick as possible, more quickly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Alex?
I think if we did it again, I'd just sleep less and go even faster. I think if that's possible, it's really hard work. But just don't hold back. I think you have to be really brave. Don't be scared to introduce yourself. Turn up to everything. Shake everybody's hand. There's no. I think I'd just do more of it, right? Because if you're confident in what you're selling and making, just push. Yeah.
Speed and bravery. No?
It's called Fast Pay Hotels, right?
Okay, thank you so much. It was really great having you here, and thank you to the audience.
Thank you.
Bye.